DetroLA.com.
It's Ask Dr. Oz Day, and it's a doozy, y'all. Next, Oprah.
Tomorrow at 4.
Countdown New Hampshire. Overflow crowds for the candidates as our new poll shows new leaders and some new trouble for a couple of former frontrunners. Dangerous weather out west. Snow, rain, plus hundreds of homes still underwater after a levee break. And Toy Story. 3D technology at your fingertips. A first look at what's next in consumer electronics.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. Change is the mantra we've been hearing loud and often on the campaign trail. And tonight, 2 days before the New Hampshire presidential primaries, change is exactly what we are seeing. Changing frontrunners. Let's get right to the latest MSNBC McClatchy poll of likely New Hampshire voters. Among Republicans, John McCain has surged well out in front of previous frontrunner Mitt Romney, with Iowa caucus winner Mike Huckabee now in third. On the Democratic side, Barack Obama has edged in front of Hillary Clinton, though at 33-31, it is a statistical dead heat. But tonight, the jockeying for position is far from over. We have a team of correspondents in New Hampshire covering it all. Let's begin with NBC's Lee Cowan, who is covering the Democrats for us. Lee, good evening.
Good evening, Lester. If there was one theme of today, it's that Barack Obama is the front runner here, and also because of that, he's a target. We saw it during the debate last night, we saw it on the campaign trail today, and it all came with one unlikely alliance, too.
With just 48 hours to go, it was a race to see which candidate could get the biggest, most enthusiastic crowd. And if voters here were weary of politics, they certainly didn't show it. Turnout was enormous, historic, some said, with packed theaters and gymnasiums all over New Hampshire. Hillary Clinton took on the risky task of going on the offensive, continuing her attacks on Barack Obama's message of change that she started during Saturday night's Democratic debate.
If you gave a speech, and a very good speech, against the war in Iraq in 2002, and then by 2004, you're saying you're not sure how you would have voted, and by 2005, 6, and 7, you vote for $300 billion for the war you said you were against. That's not change.
The strategy drew some pretty nasty headlines, like this one in the Boston Herald, calling her "So Yesterday," a reference to her angry claim that she's the agent of change.
I want to make change, but I've already made change. I will continue to make change. I'm not just running on a promise of change. I'm running on 35 years of change.
That outburst was in response to John Edwards, who surprised many when he actually came to Barack Obama's defense.
I mean, I didn't hear these kind of attacks from Senator Clinton when she was ahead. Now that she's not, we hear them. And anytime you speak out for change, this is what happens.
Edwards, who finished better than Hillary Clinton in Iowa, may see aligning himself with Obama a better shot at staying viable. NBC's Kevin Corke is traveling with the campaign.
Exactly 1 week ago today, during a stump speech in Iowa, he used the word fight 31 times to just 6 mentions of the word change. Today here in New Hampshire, we heard change 5 times in the first 30 seconds.
As for Barack Obama, his campaign seemed to hover above it all today as he played to standing room only crowds. A spokesman laughed off the Clinton claim that Obama hasn't been consistent about the war, while the senator himself was defending his notion of hope.
We don't need leaders who are telling us what we cannot do. We need a president who can tell us what we can do, what we can accomplish, where we can take this country.
Now, the senator may have gotten a boost among independents as well today, Lester. Bill Bradley came out and endorsed him today. You might remember him as the former New Jersey senator and also basketball player who ran for president himself 8 years ago and did pretty well among independents. Lester?
Lee Cowan tonight. Lee, thank you. NBC's Andrea Mitchell covers the Clinton campaign and is just back from an interview with Senator Clinton. Andrea, good evening.
Good evening, Lester. Hillary Clinton clearly sees the polls, so she's trying between now and Tuesday to reach out to women, independents, young people, the groups who voted against her in Iowa. We caught up with her after a rally in Nashua.
You acknowledge he's a great speaker, and if they're responding to that and not to your programs, your ideas, how do you deal with it?
When they say to themselves, okay, I have a choice between
a truly inspirational speaker who has not done the kind of spade work with the sort of experience that another candidate has. And now I'm finding out more about the changing positions and some of the different information that's coming out. Let's take a deep breath here.
Does your husband project
I think
history, not the future generation?
I think that what people remember from the 1990s was that we had a president who got up every day and tried to solve problems and try.
Chelsea, she's here with you. Obviously, that sends a visual message. Will she ever have a speaking role the way the daughters of other candidates, Senators Kerry and Edwards and other presidential candidates have had?
Well, that will be, up to her. She is her own person, which I deeply respect, and she's going to help in whatever way she feels is best for her.
And Chelsea's mother is hoping that between now and Tuesday, by confronting Barack Obama more directly, she can turn this New Hampshire race around. Lester?
Andrea, thanks very much. Now to the Republican race, where according to that MSNBC McClatchy poll, former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney has slipped into second place. And as Ron Allen joins us to explain, Romney may these days be feeling like he has a target painted on his back. Hello, Ron.
Indeed, Lester. Mike Huckabee's advisors set the tone here when he said he wants to take Mitt Romney out. John McCain, surging in the polls, now hopes to win here in a race that's gotten very personal.
I don't have to get elected with the support of lobbyists in my campaign.
Today, Mitt Romney kept up his not-so-subtle jabs at his main rival here, John McCain, and his 21 years in the U.S. Senate.
Americans are not looking for Washington insiders. They're looking for change, and change is what we're going to give them.
That's become Romney's mantra, that his career rebuilding struggling businesses makes him best suited to solve the gridlock in D.C. But when that word change came up at last night's debate, McCain pounced.
We disagree on a lot of issues, but I agree you are the candidate of change.
By that he means flip-flopper, one of several biting, sarcastic quips, showing how much McCain and Romney apparently dislike each other.
Is there a way to have this about issues and not about personal attacks?
Analysts say some of the resentment is because Romney's new on the national scene. His rivals see him as a wealthy opportunist, investing part of his personal fortune on attack ads, this one directed at McCain.
He's had his chance in Washington to make things better.
A McCain ad highlights local newspaper endorsements, including one that labeled Romney a phony.
The Concord Monitor writes, if a candidate is a phony, we'll know it.
I think you have almost a death match here in New Hampshire, which senators feel like they're better prepared, they're better qualified, they're better able to be president.
Today on Meet the Press, McCain said it's not personal.
He has changed his positions on almost every major issue. That is a fact. I could chronicle it for you, but that doesn't mean he isn't a good person.
Much is at stake because McCain has had a revival here after seeming to be out of the running just a month ago. Romney's strategy to capture the nomination has been to win here and in Iowa. Losing both could severely damage his chances. Now everyone has him in their sights.
But look, Governor, don't try and characterize my position. Of course, this war has not been... Which one?
Well, I think Romney is a guy for a lot of vote in New Hampshire, and so we've seen most of them see him as a threat.
Mike Huckabee's problem here is that he does not have a big evangelical community to boost his candidacy. And of course, there's still Rudolph Giuliani, hoping that there is no clear frontrunner by the time the race moves to Florida and to the big states that vote on February 5th. Lester?
All right, Ron Allen, thank you. Iowa caucus winner Mike Huckabee comes into New Hampshire polling behind McCain and Romney. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell is covering the Huckabee campaign. Kelly, no doubt Huckabee would like to go 2 for 2, but short of that, what are his expectations there?
Well, no one's even thinking or even dreaming about another first place here, Lester. While it may be make or break in New Hampshire for Romney and McCain, Mike Huckabee is shooting for a different goal, and that's just beating expectations. And for him, that would mean 3rd, even 4th place. Now, after that big Iowa victory, his campaign says he's getting his biggest crowds here in New Hampshire. We've seen several hundred at events and more money. His advisors say that 4,000 new donors have pledged cash online, and some of the party's elite and establishment members have called offering to do fundraisers in key states. So for Huckabee, New Hampshire means exposure and maybe more money. Lester?
All right, Kelly, thank you. NBC News Washington Bureau Chief and moderator of Meet the Press, Tim Russert, is also in New Hampshire. And Tim, there are some interesting findings on swing voters in that poll of ours.
There sure are, Lester. Look at these independence numbers and contrast them to Democrats. Amongst hardcore Democrats, Hillary Clinton is ahead by a bit. But then look at the independents. Obama almost 2-to-1 lead over Hillary Clinton. Why is that important? Because 45% of the voters in New Hampshire call themselves independents. On the Republican side, McCain barely ahead of Romney amongst Republicans. Throw in the independents, nearly 3-to-1 with the independents. One other thing, Lester, in the Obama-Clinton race, it is generational. If you're 50 or younger, you're for Obama. If you're 50 or older, you're for Clinton. Those were the same kind of dynamics we saw at work in Iowa. That's what this Tuesday in New Hampshire is all about. If young people and independents show up, Obama wins. If they don't, Clinton has a solid chance. If independents don't vote for John McCain, Mitt Romney has a chance. If they show up, John McCain will win here big.
And I'm wondering how much of the bounce you're seeing from Iowa into New Hampshire in terms of what these polls represent. Is Obama finding he's gaining based on what he had in Iowa?
The 3-day survey we did, Lester, on Wednesday and Thursday, you can see the numbers fairly close. On Friday, a bounce for Obama. That was the day after the Iowa caucus. On the Republican side, McCain and Romney, pretty constant. Then the day after Iowa, McCain got a bounce. Romney didn't drop that much, but he didn't gain. The McCain bounce was because of Romney's defeat in Iowa. Today, Sunday, is a critical day for polling. Polling in the Northeast on a cold winter day is a perfect day to talk to voters. They're home watching football, watching the nightly news. The polls we see tomorrow, I think, will be very instructive as to what's going to happen here on Tuesday.
We'll be talking to you all between now and, of course, on Tuesday. Tim Russert, as always, thanks much. Over the years, we've followed New Hampshire politics by getting into the minds of voters before the primaries. And while the candidates, for the most part, change every 4 years, a lot of the voters, and in some cases the issues, are the same. And so tonight, Tom Brokaw revisits one New Hampshire Republican he's been following for years to see how his perspective has evolved over time.
What about workforce? We first met Mike Quinlan 8 years ago, just before the 2000 primary. The owner of a software company, Quinlan was benefiting from the high-tech boom in the state.
It's really transforming the state at warp speed in a way, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The state was ready for it.
Quinlan voted for George W. Bush in the primary, supporting the Texas governor's philosophy that government stay out of the way of business. Then, the bubble burst. That was followed by 9/11. Quinlan agreed with President Bush's national security policy and voted for him once again in 2004. We caught up with Quinlan again this week. He still believes national security is important, and he says business is good.
You think the Republicans have a tough road this time?
Well, I think everybody has a tough road, and I think that one of the things I like is when candidates are willing to say things in multi-part. You know, they're not willing to just say, get out of Iraq or stay the course in Iraq.
Any Democrats you like?
Well, I think that almost all politicians would like to be president and do a great job and leave a legacy behind as a great president. So I'm hopeful that if Hillary or Obama get in, that they will be good. We need to send people who can get stuff done and who are willing to do that instead of just fight with each other. And party is secondary to that as far as I'm concerned.
Tom Brokaw and one voter's changing viewpoint. And by the way, Mike Quinlan told Tom he plans to vote for John McCain on Tuesday. When NBC Nightly News continues this Sunday, dangerous weather out west, heavy snow, driving rains, and we'll have the latest on that broken levee that left hundreds of homes underwater. Also, a first look at the Consumer Electronics Show, the latest in high-tech toys unveiled when we continue here tonight.
This is Shelley Wang and Young Lee, owners of Pinkberry. Shelley and Young, this is American Express Open. We got your application and we're excited to say that Pinkberry is getting a plum card, number 1170 of the initial 10,000. We know you spend a lot to make your swirly goodness, so the up to 2% early pay discount or having the option to defer payment for up to 2 months interest-free could really help with cash flow when you build new stores. For other businesses that could also use these flexible terms, call 877-OPEN-PLUM. We can't wait to see who's next.
bad sore throat pain? New Cepacol spray is a big shot of relief. Numbs pain instantly in just one shot. Old-fashioned sprays need 5. New Cepacol spray. The little spray that's a big shot of relief.
Rushing around. Working hard.
See you tomorrow.
Taking care of our kids.
Wake up, Mom.
Finding time for friends. All this makes us feel run down.
Did you know that a hectic life can weaken your body's defenses? Well, you can help strengthen them with Dan Active. Only Dan Active has LKCI Immunitas that is clinically proven to help strengthen your body's defenses.
Dan Active
helps strengthen your body's defenses. 25 studies have shown the effectiveness of Dan Active and LKCI Immunitas.
Introducing a world first, Braun Pulsonic. Thousands of microvibrations help expose and shave more hair with every stroke for Braun's most thorough shave ever. Braun Pulsonic, voted best electric shaver.
Did you know 1 in 3 men will face prostate issues?
1 in 3? Really?
That's why One A Day Men's is a complete multivitamin with lycopene, which Harvard studies suggest may help prostate health. One A Day Men's.
Fed up with snoring? Introducing new Snore Relief Throat Strips from Breathe Right. At night, throat tissues can become dry and vibrate, but new Snore Relief Throat Strips gently lubricate throat tissues to help keep them quiet. They help 2 out of 3 couples sleep more peacefully at night. Breathe better, sleep better with new Wintergreen Snore Relief Throat Strips from Breathe Right.
Tonight, there is a state of emergency in sections of the rain-drenched and snowbound West after a storm system that raged for 3 days. Federal officials are sending emergency supplies to the hardest-hit areas where residents are struggling to dig out and dry off. NBC's Gina Kim now with the latest.
The powerful winter storm that battered the West this weekend is now being blamed for at least 3 deaths.
You want me to pull you up?
In Chino, California, a couple who took a chance and drove through an opening in a road barricade ran into this. An overflowing flood control channel that turned into a roaring rapid, sweeping away the couple's truck. The man managed to cling onto a tree branch till rescue workers got to him. His girlfriend didn't make it. Falling trees and branches are being blamed for knocking down 500 miles of power lines in Northern California. More than 200,000 homes and businesses are still without power. In Southern California, mudslide dangers have emergency crews keeping a nervous eye on the areas torched in the fires. Meanwhile, hope is fading in the search for 6 snowmobilers lost in southern Colorado. The group, ranging in age from 13 to 36, were last seen Friday. Today, severe weather prevented rescue efforts as another 2 feet of snow was forecast to fall in the area.
The wind was coming sideways. Visibility was 20, 30 feet at most. High winds, heavy snow.
And weather's also hampering recovery efforts in Fernley, Nevada, where some 400 homes were deluged after a levee break yesterday. Officials say the water, up to 8 feet in some places, is now freezing in the cold temperatures, preventing it from flowing out naturally. 1,500 people are temporarily homeless.
They're faced with a very serious and difficult challenge of making a life and continuing a life, being displaced from their home until they can get back and assess and see what damage they have, what losses have occurred.
For now, the worst of the storm appears to have passed, leaving millions out west coping with the aftermath. Gina Kim, NBC News, Los Angeles.
When we come back, the struggle to restore calm after a week of violence and now a new crisis.
Glad Force Flex trash bags are so strong. One bag is all you need to pick up the pieces from even your biggest disasters.
Where do you want the piano?
Get Glad Force Flex and find out why 7 out of 10 consumers prefer it over the other leading brand.
How would you like to win $5,000 from Publishers Clearinghouse every single week for the rest of your life?
You're lying.
Enter at PCH.com or by mail, and you could win for life.
burning, itching. I should have used Preparation H.
And for extra relief, use Preparation H medicated wipes first. Unlike most ordinary wipes, they relieve while you clean. Then apply your Preparation H. Medicated wipes from Preparation H, the relief expert.
Vitamin D is a key to calcium absorption, which helps keep bones strong. Caltrate has advanced levels of vitamin D. Keep your bones strong to keep your body strong. Caltrate, the key to strong bones.
Nasal sprays? Ooh, I'm shaking in my boots. Huh? Mucinex nasal spray?
New Mucinex Full Force Nasal Spray. Specially made to clear even the toughest mucus out of your nose for 12 hours. Mucinex in, mucus out.
Fidelity is America's #1 IRA choice. It's because we give you free investment help. We don't charge IRA account fees. And we have more 4- and 5-star funds than any other company, all with no loans. Get your Fidelity IRA today. Come in or call 1-800-FIDELITY.
Covering the world tonight, we begin in Iraq and a bombing caught on tape. The attack came at an Army Day observance in Baghdad. Iraqi soldiers jumped on the bomber as the blast was recorded during this television interview with the sheriff. As people fled the scene, soldiers opened fire. At least 11 people were killed in the explosion, with a dozen injured. A new video from American al-Qaeda Adam Gadan urges militants to greet President Bush with bombs during his Middle East visit this week. In a dramatic gesture, Gadan tore up his passport to protest the imprisonment of al-Qaeda followers. In Kenya, appeals for calm in the wake of post-election violence. As we hear from NBC's Martin Fletcher in Nairobi, the concern now is getting help to thousands who were hurt or left homeless.
All they have left is faith. Even their church was burned, homes destroyed, businesses looted, possessions stolen, hundreds killed. And this in the safari capital of the world. Following a week of deadly violence that left hundreds dead, there are now hundreds of thousands of people without food or shelter. This man is sharing a burnt-out bus with strangers.
We just came here with children. We have been starving here, for there is no food, there is no water, there is no clothes, there is no shelter, as you can see.
Political violence became tribal. Kikuyu tribesmen were attacked and forced out of their homes by Luo tribesmen, with other smaller tribes caught up too. Many are too afraid to go back and are seeking new homes. In the capital, Nairobi, not far from the racecourse and the game park, it's breakfast time. Bread and tea with milk for more than 3,000 refugees. All tribes mixed, and there's tension even here. This lady, a Luo, told us she's being treated badly by the Kikuyu. This Kikuyu man stopped her.
Isn't it time now to forget about who's a Kikuyu, who's a Luo, live in peace?
We are brothers and sisters.
The best hope is that he's speaking the truth. Meanwhile, Kenya, known mostly as a holiday destination, has become the latest humanitarian crisis. Martin Fletcher, NBC News, Nairobi, Kenya.
In Ecuador, the eruption of a volcano south of the capital has left at least one person dead. There are dozens injured or missing after the crater spewed lava and ash. There's concern there may be more intense activity to come. We're back with a big technology story making headlines tomorrow after this.
Poor girl. Worried her friends will find out her secret. She's got a bladder control problem. Time to have the Detrol discussion. That's it. I'm going in. Listen, I know what you're going through. Really?
It's not just the going. It's worrying that everyone will know.
You should have the Detrol discussion with your doctor. Detrol is the brand doctors prescribe most to help calm that gotta-go feeling. Just one Detrol LA works 24 hours, all day and all night to help calm those frequent sudden urges. If you have certain stomach problems, glaucoma, or trouble getting urine to pass, you shouldn't take Detrol LA. The most common side effects are dry mouth, headache, constipation, and abdominal pain. Ask your doctor if Detrol LA is right for you.
Doctor, Detrol, got it.
Okay, see you soon.
But not too soon.
Have the Detrol discussion with your doctor. To help you talk about overactive bladder, go to DetrolLA.com.
My doctor told me something I never knew. As we get older, our bodies become less able to absorb calcium. He recommended Citracal. It's a different kind of calcium. Calcium citrate with vitamin D for improved absorption to nourish your bones.
Get close anytime. Now you can receive free scope when you buy 3 Fix-It creams.
Harry is a scratcher who keeps getting scratched. He needs maximum strength Scalpicin, not a shampoo. Its clear formula stops scratching with the itch medicine dermatologists recommend. Maximum strength Scalpicin, the clear solution to a healthier scalp.
This is Shelley Wang and Young Lee, owners of Pinkberry. Shelley and Young, this is American Express Open. We got your application and we're excited to say that Pinkberry is getting a plum card, number 1170 of the initial 10,000. We know you spend a lot to make your swirly goodness, so the up to 2% early pay discount or having the option to defer payment for up to 2 months interest-free could really help with cash flow when you build new stores. For other businesses that could also use these flexible terms, call 877-OPEN-PLUM. We can't wait to see who's next.
Keith Olbermann presents Bill O'Reilly Confrontation Puppet Theater. This reenactment will leave you hanging by a string. Countdown with Keith Olbermann, MSNBC weeknights. All new Medium, Monday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
Finally tonight, the latest and greatest gadgets about to be unveiled at the world's largest electronics show happening this week in Las Vegas. CNBC's Jim Goldman has the high-tech lowdown on what could soon make life easier and a lot more fun.
Big screens, iPhones, video games, GPS devices, all kinds of consumer electronics. They dominated this past holiday shopping season. And now the next generation of must-have, gotta-get gizmos and gadgets, well, many of them could be found under this one roof. Technology not years away, but available and affordable now.
You can have everything at your fingertips.
Indeed, most everything in this next-generation home can be remotely controlled through this panel. The oven, the washer and dryer, security cameras, even the temperature and the curtains. Total home control linked by the latest hardware and software. Even a smart bed that improves sleep patterns and, the manufacturer claims, reduces snoring.
If the bed senses that you're snoring, it will actually elevate the bed 7 degrees until you stop snoring.
The stakes here are huge. This expo will determine what sells and what won't in electronics for the rest of this year. Something like this, the new Samsung high-definition camcorder, no tape inside, all on a hard drive. It's shown here for the very first time, and this is the kind of thing that 140,000 people are coming to Vegas to see. Gaming will be big too. Advanced technology never used before to develop a video game. Well, it powers one of the most anticipated titles of the year from George Lucas's team, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, seen here exclusively.
It does continue the Star Wars saga. It tells a brand new Star Wars story.
This tiny print stick printer wirelessly connects to your smartphone so you can print emails on the go. New 3D technology from Pure Death will change the way you look at slot machines, personal computers, even cell phones.
You get an effect of actual depth.
This software from Vertus will let digital photographers manipulate photos in seconds, what used to take hours.
If you wanted to be in Hawaii right now, I could take a picture of you and have you in Hawaii in about 2 minutes.
Small companies sharing or trying to steal the spotlight from the biggest names in tech, all of them vying for your attention and your wallet. Jim Goldman for NBC News, Las Vegas.
And that's NBC Nightly News for this Sunday. Brian Williams reports from New Hampshire tomorrow. I'm Lester Holt in New York. For all of us here at NBC News, good night.
NBC News, America's news leader. Decision 2008. Can the winners in Iowa keep their momentum? Matt Lauer, live from the New Hampshire primaries, Tuesday on Today on NBC.
No matter how you drive, we got you covered.
Hang on, Barney. Here we go, buddy. They'll never catch us now, Barney. Oh, doggy. Barney, think you're strong. We're good. Here we are. I love this job. Come on, boy.
At Acceptance, nobody gets stuck without car insurance. Call today.
Oh, it's fine.
It's
Watson's half off after Christmas sale.
Up to 50% off display models, scratch and dent, and new items.
Prices reduced on all in-stock spas. 4-person spa, only $9.99. Big selection of tanning systems, as low as $7.99. 12 months, same as cash.
Complete pool packages, only $9.99. Free spring installation.
Closeout patio furniture.
Play gyms, only $9.99. That's Watson's incredible.
Half off after Christmas sale.
Dan Miller and Demetria Kaladimos working for you weeknights at 5, 6, and 10.
Tonight, we're stepping back in style.
Tonight, we are going old school. I'm talking about the 70s and the 80s.
First, it's the groovy